I'm tired and I forgot to hit record, and so I've already done this one time and now I don't feel as motivated to do it, but I've got to do it because I promised myself I would commit to doing this. So, happy Monday, everybody. We made it home. Welcome to another week in the life of a UI UX designer. Even though I am exhausted right now, I am really happy that I got that extended weekend to spend time with the family and clear my brain, especially with all of the projects that I have going on the corporate side of work right now. It is great to get a reset. And so I am ready to hit the ground running this week. I have a presentation with the business on Thursday to go over the new homepage designs that I have been working on. I do feel like I am in a good place with the flat Figma designs and the basic prototype, but I know that I could get the timing on the animation that is playing when the site loads to be a lot more refined. So I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on that this week before I actually present to the business. I think that them seeing the animation working fluidly could be a factor in the designs getting approved. So I want to make sure I nail that, and it will be worth putting a little bit of extra effort into that. And last but not least, we've got YouTube. I have my second video posted today. This is of course in the future, so I have a few videos posted at this point, but in real life I have just posted my second video, and it's one that I am really proud of actually. On the first video, I started filming without really knowing what the video was going to be in the edit, but when I was working on the second video, I already had the first video as a reference, so I was able to nail down and refine the tone a little bit more, and it's great having that uploaded to the channel so that I could use it as motivation and inspiration when I'm not feeling like picking up the camera and talking to it. All right, I've just got to get some footage uploaded, and then I'm going to crash so that I can hit the ground running tomorrow morning. All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. We are back to work, and I am making great progress on the corporate side of things. I didn't even realize how badly I needed that break. I was just pushing my food around the plate last week and not really making the kind of progress that I am in the short amount of time that I've been working just today. And now looking at these designs with fresh eyes, I'm happy with the state of the concept for these designs, but I do want to go through and do some code prototyping so I can make this prototype a little bit more fluid. Currently, I'm using Figma just to prove out the concept, but I know if I code it myself, I can get the transitions timed perfectly, and then I can just hand off that animation code directly to the developers, so cutting down on our overall effort and is going to result in a cleaner product overall. So we are going to spend a little bit of time code prototyping before we get to our presentation on Thursday. I did have another video project fall into my lap though. This is on the personal side of things. Blair just asked me to help out one of her friends who is a musician and needs some help with some of her branding / short music video snippets. So I'm going to, after work today, pack up all my gear and go on a last minute shoot to help out a friend. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't feeling a little bit overwhelmed by this last minute task, but Blair asked, and sometimes you just have to step up for your partners, so we are going to make it happen. And hopefully it doesn't impede too much on my brain space so that I can keep the higher priority projects moving forward at the pace that is necessary. So I will catch you guys up on set later on this evening. I think this might actually be better with the blinds down so that it cuts out some of this light a little. Okay, that's actually better. I don't like the reflection from the screen, but I think that we're gonna have to work with it. This is run and gun, so we'll do the best we can. Okay, let's just try to get that light out of the shot and see if it still works. Hi, baby. Okay. Hey, baby, that's for focus. Yes. You wanna come say hi? Okay, baby, let's check our focus. You hold on to that? You hold that, okay? Dad'll hold this. We're getting the shots, we're getting the shots, we're getting the shots. Sit right here. Let's do a little interview for you, huh? How old are you? Can you tell everybody how old you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell everybody your name?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Blue.
Oh, is it blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I think this looks pretty good for a first shot. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I've got this set up for you so that you can hit this button here. Oh, don't let her touch it. Hit this button here, and that'll turn on these aspect ratios. But let's get both because it's good to have both, you know?
Yeah, but if we can get it within that frame.
We'll just do both. We'll frame up this way and then we'll frame it up for 16 by 9 or 9 by 16.
You're gonna hang out with Janie.
Okay.
Oh, you wanna talk to Blue?
Can you say hello?
She said telemarketer. Leave it.
Look away. Yep, perfect.
Oh wait, that's me right now.
Gotta check the focus with this lens. Got a different lens on tonight. All right, much shallower depth of field on this lens. I absolutely love using it. It's the 35mm 7 Artisans Cine lens. It is absolutely fantastic, super cheap, but the build quality is incredible, and the imperfections seem purposeful enough that it gives off a really beautiful, dreamy, vintage look. Super subtle, but definitely noticeable in contrast with the more clinical 24-70 Sigma lens that I usually shoot when doing the vlogs or any other run and gun shoot. I would love to keep this lens on the camera all of the time, and I used to, but it's manual focus only, so it is a little bit less convenient to use, and when I am trying to keep a consistent pace with these videos, it's easier just to slap on that 24-70 so that I have the ability to zoom and set the composition a little bit more quickly. But if I'm doing a shoot like I did earlier and I have a little bit more time, I didn't, we rushed, but I have a little bit more time to be intentional about the shots that I'm picking up, then I can slap on this manual focus lens. All right, speaking of the shoot, tonight was absolutely hectic, very long work day. We did bring our daughter and it was hectic chasing her around, but we had another friend to kind of wrangle her so Blair and I could collaborate on getting the shots. And I'm really happy with what we got for the short amount of time that we actually had on set, less than 2 hours. And we have about 4 or 5 really solid shots for Tamara to pick through and choose what she's going to use for her marketing material. But I didn't want this little project to take up too much of my brain space, so I already got that footage uploaded and colored, did a quick export. I think I'll do one more pass tomorrow morning when I have fresh eyes, and then I will shoot that over to Tamara for her to use. So we banged out that project very quickly, but unfortunately, that cut into our time for editing the vlog, and I needed a little bit of extra time to work on the corporate work before my internal meeting tomorrow, so I may have to wake up early just to make sure that I have everything settled in a good place before my internal meeting. I want my entire team to feel confident with the directions that I have in mind before we present on Thursday. All right, it is midnight and we are on the eternal mission to get our sleep schedule on track, so let's call it and crash. We are still rocking our manual lens, so let's check this focus one more time. All right, we are back grinding on corporate work today. I lost a lot of momentum by doing that shoot last night, but I am feeling pretty confident about my presentation to the business tomorrow. I had a pretty productive day today already, getting that all packaged up, and I did a run through of the presentation in my internal meeting today, and that seemed to go smooth. There are a few small outstanding notes from that meeting, but I should have it all taken care of before I actually present. I have this other video project that is popping up. It is shooting in LA sometime next month. We might push the date about a week, but I'm going to go document all of the new updates to our LA campus. They did a huge renovation that started towards the end of COVID, and it's just now finally being complete. So we're going to take a trip and check out the Universal lot together. I already have a storyboard that I'm running through with the producer that I am working with, and I have a budget that is sent to leadership that I had a meeting about today. And unfortunately, they're really penny pinching on this project, so there's not a lot of room for us to get the necessary equipment. Specifically, we need the ability to move the camera, so I need some kind of a gimbal or stabilizer so that we can get the long tracking shot that they have in mind. And if we can't get any money released for this shoot, then we will pull it off with the equipment that we have available to us. I am really hesitant to bring out my equipment to do stuff like this. Typically, if I'm working on a corporate gig, then we will either tap the news department or one of our event production departments, or we'll hire a third-party crew to come out and help shoot us. But because this is the technology side that is shooting this video and it's not a business department, then we don't have the freedom of allocating a budget directly to it. So on this one, I am willing to bring my equipment just because I feel like this video will be good for my portfolio, good for the vlogs, and it's also an opportunity to flex on what we are capable of achieving, so that when we do pull off more of these videos in the future, which are inevitable, then I can explain that in order to pull it off, we need this level of production and equipment. But undoubtedly going to go into a little bit of a creativity, inspiration, motivation debt to pull this off. Already aware of that. So hopefully we can prepare accordingly and keep everything balanced out across the board overall. All right, I'm going to finish polishing up this presentation for tomorrow, but I will catch you guys later. All right, checking the focus. Still on the manual focus lens this week, so I've got that attached to my external monitor. Let's rock. All right, so it's pretty late tonight. I decided to take a nap after work and then grind this evening on making sure everything's polished up for this presentation that I have tomorrow. I feel like I'm in a really good place, but I do need to take the morning just to do one last pass on everything and go through the actual presentation in my head. But I do feel like I'm in a good place with the designs. I didn't get to make as much progress as I wanted to on the actual code prototype, but I'm still going to preview the progress that I have made just so that they can have an idea of what the difference in the fluidity of the animation is between the Figma prototype and then what it's actually going to look like when we code it and it's in production. I really am struggling with the fact that I lost the momentum from having those extra days off. Adding that extra little video project was a little bit more than I should have bitten off. It was fun and everything, but probably a little bit irresponsible with my creative energy. And while I started the week feeling like I was ahead, I am now feeling like I'm falling behind and trying to catch up again. So not the best feeling in the world, but I'm hoping to just continue pushing through the week and being as productive as possible. I am also falling behind on the editing of the vlogs, so things are a little bit chaotic right now, but I'm confident that after this weekend, I will be in a better place with my energy and with the status of all of my projects. And not going to lie, it is a little bit difficult to maintain this right now when I am so busy with my corporate work. All of my side projects with PopMalt right now are still on hold. I'm not able to pick up any other design and development work with as busy as I am, but I did catch up with my business partner Rebecca just on personal things, and we are going to try to connect next week just to have a conversation and reset our perspectives. All right, I gotta go crash though. All right, post-presentation wrap up. So much relief right now. The business absolutely loved the new designs, and I'm actually feeling really happy about them as well. I feel like we got them in a pretty polished state that the business stakeholders can now take that to our executive leadership team and get approval on moving forward with the concepts. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on the code prototypes on them and create a more fluid prototype for the animations that are going to be running. I'm going back and forth right now on just continuing with the vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to do those animations. I use GSAP to actually control the timelines for them, but I think that I might try integrating GSAP into Astro just so that I could try out a new workflow of scoping everything directly to the component, so it's a little bit easier when I package it up for the development team. I'm thinking maybe I give it a shot, the integrating GSAP into Astro, and if it's a little bit cumbersome and I'm not feeling like it's a completely intuitive experience for me, then I'll just switch back to what I feel comfortable with in writing vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I feel like the presentation went so well that now we have a little time back, a buffer between when we have to have our next delivery ready, and also I feel like we've established even more trust so that the client is happy with the direction we're heading, and they will allow us to kind of grind on it and polish it up a little bit more. We all want the site to look and function as best as possible, and then it's just a balance on how long it takes to execute the task to make it function as we all expect. Very excited to have this brain space cleared up though, and I'm also really happy just to be moving in the direction of steering the site into a cohesive direction so that when we do have to do enhancements in the future, it's so much less of pulling your hair to get things aligned within the styles that are documented. All right, let's wrap up this workday though. I feel like I have been grinding enough on the corporate side of things. I definitely need to focus on getting these vlogs edited. They are stacking up since I haven't been spending my evenings working on them, but I have been grinding pretty hard, so I'm not going to be too tough on myself if I don't get around to being too productive tonight. We might just take a second to reset our brain and then use the weekend to stack up a few more of these edits. All right, I'm going to go hang out with the fam. Catch you guys in the evening. All right, let's give this a shot. There we go. Now we have a less shallow depth of field. All right, let's take a few minutes to clean and talk about life a little bit. Okay, so this week has definitely gotten the best of me. I am feeling a non-zero amount of anxiety about the work that I have on my plate right now. I just wrapped up a big presentation, and I honestly thought that it was going to take about 2 weeks to do that work, and it ended up being about a month from when I started it. Still working on the code prototype, of course, but I feel like we're in a good place conceptually, which is where the majority of the creative energy comes from. And creative energy takes a lot of my brain space and makes it pretty difficult to maintain a balance across the board. So when I have an external presentation week, in general, I am unavailable for more of the personal life side of things. So my partner steps up on the mom front. She's always wonderful on the mom front, but she steps up on the house front. But some things slip inevitably because it takes both of us to maintain our life. So house gets messy, and when the house gets messy and your environment is messy, then that trickles into all the other areas of your life. And I feel like we're in that stage this week. And I know taking on that extra video gig, as fun as that was, and I think it was worth it, it undeniably kind of set us back a little bit. So wish I had a more positive mindset post the presentation, even though it went really well and I feel like things are in a good place in that project. I feel like I want to show up as a good partner tonight and get things back in shape so that we can start the weekend with a clean slate and then go into next week with a little bit more momentum. We're also going to try to get this place in order. We have a home visit with the Montessori that Blue is starting at next week, so I feel like it's a good excuse to do a little bit of redecorating. So we're gonna get this place in shape, and while we're still in the stage of Blue getting into things, I feel like we can probably get some curtains back at a reasonable level, get these blinds fixed, get a lamp, you know, get our place looking back like a living room. Dude, I'm tired and stressed this week. I know, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. Maybe I still personally need to unpack some stuff. All right, we've had some time to think. I feel like when you are a creative, you can often find yourself prioritizing your own needs above those around you, especially when you have a deadline and when you're a creative professional, you have obligations to people, or maybe you're in high visibility situations, but you can find an imbalance occurring with your relationships. And while this week's a little bit different because that extra creative project that I picked up was to help out my partner Blair, but she definitely takes on a larger amount of the personal life, housework, baby time when I have a presentation to the business. And I feel like I'm still so driven by my career, even though I have new priorities to balance with baby and family. But yeah, I need to find a way to fix that imbalance, and if I can't get ahead of it, then I definitely need to show up post-presentation. Least I can do is clean up the house, the kitchen, do some laundry, and maybe book her a massage to say thanks on these kind of weeks where I am definitely overloaded and can feel myself slipping on the partner front. Trying to get our things in order so that we can go into this weekend with a clean slate and then have a little bit of momentum for next week. Whew, what a doozy. Catch you guys tomorrow. All right, let's wrap this week up. I am feeling a little bit better today. I'm going to go out to have dinner with some friends and the family just to reset those inspiration and motivation levels. But the workday was really great. I made some good progress on the code prototype. I am currently moving forward with using Astro to test out building this prototype. I would say I'm about 75% committed to using it as our new prototype. I definitely know it's going to be a much bigger conversation to commit to moving all of production over to Astro, but I'm feeling really good about using it on the design side. The ability to scope all of the styles and actions directly to the component like you do with React, and being relatively framework agnostic towards the other JavaScript frameworks like Vue and React has me feeling like it might be the future of how we build our blog sites on the corporate side of things. So today I wanted to stress test all of the use cases that I think I'm going to run into when building out this prototype for the new designs, and really that's specific to how all of the animations are going to run and integrate into the Astro site, since that's something that I'm not as familiar with. So specific to GSAP, I have tested a few different things. I've tested a very basic animation on a page when the page loads. I've tested a scroll-based animation that is triggered and scrubs through the animation as the user scrolls to the page. And then I have tested an animation that is scoped to a component that is then imported into a page. And I've also tested animating posts that are mapped in from a dynamic data source. So feeling pretty confident about this so far. I think there may be some instances specific to how scroll trigger works that I might run into a few friction points further down the line on some more complex animations, but for now I think I've closed the loop on most of the use cases that I'm going to run into for my specific needs. All right, definitely a long week and I am feeling it, so I am going to go spend some time with the family. I have a lot of editing to do this weekend, but I'm hoping to knock that out and get started with next week with a little bit more momentum. All right, I will catch you guys later. Peace.